Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Cryptid Cocktail Party show where we have a few drinks, share a few laughs, take a dive into the unknown. I'm your host Dave, joined as always by my co-host Sarge. How's it going?
Woo!
Your dog's going apeshit in the background.
I don't know how she found a squeak toy. I literally hid all of them. She just hates me so much.
She's excited because you know why? She knows that today is our 2-year anniversary.
Woo!
Hell yeah.
Yeah. 2 years.
2 years. Well, for you, I guess this will be your 1-year anniversary, kind of.
This is my 1-year anniversary, but I'll just pretend.
Yeah, pretending's what we do half time on the show anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah. I was part of the show in the first season, but it was,
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2 years. I can't believe it. We've come so far, Sarge, in 2 years.
It's been crazy.
It's bananas. This show started out as a way for me to reconnect with my friends, and now it's turned into me talking to you every day, which I kind of enjoy better because fuck those guys. They didn't want to be on my show to begin with.
You connected with a new friend.
I did. I made a new lifelong friend through the internet. That's the magic of the internet and podcasts and social media. You know, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, social media is a nightmare and it should be fucking abolished. But
I agree.
If it wasn't for that, I would never have met you. You wouldn't have been a guest on the show. We probably would never have been sponsored by Narragansett Beer. We wouldn't have won an award. So this is less about our 2-year anniversary and more about how social media kind of fucking rules, but sucks at the same time.
Exactly. Now, if you'll give me just a moment, okay. I'm going to pull the squeaker out of that toy because it's going to drive me insane.
You got it, champ.
Hi, sweetheart. You're the best dog in the world, and you know I love you, but if you squeak that thing one more time, I'm going to shoot it into space.
So for those of you who can't see Sarge right now, he is dressed to the nines for this occasion. All right, top hat, fucking tie. You look great. And like I said earlier before we started recording, you kind of look like the Hat Man if this was a lucid Benadryl fever dream right now.
Yes. Yes, I'm like not the worst nightmare you have, because when you wake up, you're first scared because you see the top hat, but then I'm just going to start talking to you about battles in World War II.
Yeah, that's... Well, you see, in World War II, they experimented with geometry on their ships to try and hide it from helicopters.
Did you know they had inflatable tanks?
I did know that. I learned that probably embarrassingly recently. I don't mean like within the past like 4 months, but within the past like 10 years or so, I learned that, and I feel like that's something I should have learned way sooner.
No, it's they actually kept it a secret for a long time.
Did they really?
Yeah, and the Germans tried it too. They tried to build like a whole fake town out of wood, and they built like tanks out of wood and stuff. And so the English flew over at one point and just dropped one wooden bomb because they knew immediately that it was fake.
The fuck out. That's pretty good. Yeah. That's pretty good. Oh, all right. Speaking of the British, before we get started, I was a guest on the Spooky Shed, which is a podcast out of England. It was really fun, so definitely go check that out. I ranted for so long that they had to split it into 2 parts.
You know, it's a good episode when it takes 2 episodes to get through.
Yeah, it was fun. I get nervous and I talk. If I don't have like a script or like notes in front of me, I'll ramble forever if I'm nervous. So and he was so polite, Liam. And I, like, you could tell because like I would start talking and I'd talk forever, and I'd have to be like, do you want to like interject at any point? I'm just talking. He's like, no, you're good. I'm like, no, you can't be this polite.
You keep going.
You have to cut me off, or it'll be a whole new podcast. It just won't end. It'll be
they were thoroughly
show.
Prepared for you. That's what happened. They were prepared. They were like, Americans talk a lot, so we're just going to let this go, and we will not interrupt because we're too polite.
I think, yeah. Also, I learned this. I didn't know that England also uses miles and like miles per hour. All of the rest of Europe uses kilometers. So I was starting to just talk.
Really?
Yeah. So I
had no idea.
I was asked by Liam to let everyone know that they in fact use. It makes sense. It's the imperial system, right? They are the empire. So why would?
I mean, they're still measuring shit in stones.
Yeah, but I think that's just weight. I don't really know.
That's still too much. That's because, I mean, like, it blows my mind when they're like, yeah, he's 21 stone. What is that? Because I have stones in my backyard and they're not that heavy. I think 21 of them would not equal my weight.
I don't know what stones are. I mean, it was probably what they had to use to, like, they had to do the math to figure out how many stones it would take to crush a human woman for being a witch. So it probably has to something like to date back to that point in time. I really don't know, but I can find out.
Like how many stones you had to put in the castle wall before you could marry the king's daughter.
Oh, goddamn. But yeah, so I was a guest on a show. It was fun. I had a good time. They're really cool dudes. Well, I say dudes. The other guy wasn't there, so it was just Liam and I guess Billy. I don't know. He had to take care. He had to take care of like his quote unquote his newborn baby. Fucking nerd.
Dumb.
Right? What an idiot.
Talk about cryptids.
Yeah, I don't believe that baby even exists. I haven't seen it. You know?
Yeah.
Baby could be a cryptid for all I know.
I had a hell of a week this week.
Yeah.
We didn't really get to talk about it because we had a guest and we didn't want to depress them. But I had to put my cat Ralphie to sleep.
Yeah, happy 2-year anniversary to the show. Cat's
I know.
dead.
I know. Poor guy.
Yeah.
But he's up in kitty cat heaven biting mice in half because he's a fucking serial killer.
So you're saying is that cat heaven is mouse hell?
Yes. Weird. It's very efficient the way it worked out.
Gotcha.
Mouse Hitler is just running away from my cat right now. And then my poor dad did the most Boston thing ever. He fell in a Dunkin' Donuts parking lot. Slipped on some ice.
Shouldn't be laughing, but that's
you can't get more New England than slipping and falling on ice in a Dunkin' Donuts parking lot at 9 a.m.
Yeah, was he holding a couple fucking Lodge extras, dude? Fucking slept.
No, thankfully he was on his way in, not his way out. Okay, so he didn't burn himself.
Because didn't get the 2-for-1 special of the fall and the scalding hot coffee pouring all over your chest. That's good. Well, is he okay at least? I hope
he's okay. His shoulder's a little dinged up, but he's all right. He's feisty as ever.
Hell yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna call Morgan and Morgan. And I was like, all right.
Dude, didn't Morgan and Morgan get in trouble for being like not being licensed in half the states that they claim to be able to do law in?
Look, he can go for it. Go for it. It's their own fault for not putting ice melt down. I mean, it's like the cheapest thing we have here.
That's true. But also they probably assume that if you live in New England, you know how to walk on ice. Just saying. Not calling out your dad, but I mean, he's been here for longer than either of us have. He should know.
Bro, you're too old to have slipped on ice.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. That's going to be the defense for Dunkin' Donuts when he goes to court. Like, bro, you know where you are.
Look at him. He's been here his entire life.
Yeah, he should know better by now.
They'd be like, how dare you sue Dunkin' Donuts? You grew up in Quincy. You know where we came from.
Think about all the ad revenue Ben Affleck's not going to get because of this. That's on you, bucko.
He's suing Ben Affleck directly.
Well, I'm sorry about your cat, and I'm sorry about your dad. That sucks. I mean, I'm starting to feel the effects of aging. I slept wrong 3 nights ago, and now my right arm is almost completely useless because I have a fucking knot in my back that just won't go away. So yeah, no, I feel you.
Yeah, that's the hallmark of aging is that shit just doesn't work anymore when you wake up.
All I did was turn weird, I think, at one point in the night.
Yeah.
And then I have to fucking sit weird on my couch or else my arm just goes completely dead. It's not great. It's all bad. But anyway, Sarge, we have a 2-year anniversary special to get to. I call it a special. It's going to be something a bit different. I started this show 2 years ago. And the first episode I did was with my buddy Colby. And so what I wanted to do is I kind of wanted to see if I could do it better. Not that the episode's bad, but you know what I mean? Like I want to compare and contrast the two. So today, Sarge, we are headed
I'm ready.
to the great state of
West Virginia. I'm very excited.
All right, so we're going to be heading to Braxton County, West Virginia. Now, this is one of those quintessential American slices of Appalachia, where the rolling hills are endless, the forests feel ancient, and the small towns carry stories whispered across generations.
Where the women are scarce and the sheep are scared.
Known for its tight-knit communities and a history steeped in coal mining, farming, and folklore, Braxton County wasn't exactly like a hub of excitement. It's a very small area. This was like a place where neighbors knew each other by name, and local legends were as much a part of life as the mountains themselves. But on September 12th, that quiet charm would be interrupted. One of Braxton County's smallest villages would find itself thrust into the national spotlight for reasons no one could have predicted. This week, Sarge, we are doing Flatwoods Monster Redo.
Yes!
Are you familiar?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the Flatwoods Monster? You have to be being on this show, I feel like, at some point.
I'm relatively familiar. We have talked about the Flatwoods Monster a number of times. So I know it through context, but I don't know the story that well.
Okay, so the Flatwoods Monster was the first episode that I ever did. It's one of my favorite cryptids of all time. It's just, everything about it is great, from the story to the imagery to even like the fan art of it is the best. For some reason, the Flatwoods Monster, if you're wondering, is a girl. There's no doubt about it. So it's always like the cutest fucking fan. Just everything about this story is amazing. So if you're not familiar with it, this should be good. Now, the script, I kind of kept the same from the original, but I added some more flavor, some more details that I missed in the first one. So hopefully this is a little bit better. We will see. Who knows?
We're going to find out together.
Now, on September 12th, 1952, in the small village of Flatwoods, West Virginia, a quiet evening was about to get very weird. 4 young boys, Eddie...
That's the name of my sex tape.
4 young boys?
Not the 4 young boys part. It's a little late on the delivery, and now people are going to clip that.
Yeah, it's going to be... I'm going to clip it. This is going to be the leading clip of the show. Do you want me to take that again?
Yes, please.
On September 12th, 1952, in the small village of Flatwoods, West Virginia, a quiet evening was about to get very weird. 4 young boys...
Name of my sex tape.
God damn it.
From the top.
Four young boys, Eddie and Freddie May, Tom Heyer, and Neil Nunley were playing outside Flatwoods Elementary School, doing whatever it is that whatever the 1950s version of like playing Pokemon Go was. Well, that's probably like Jax or fucking that one thing with like the stick in the ball. I don't know what they did.
The hoop with the stick.
Like kicking I don't know what they did for fun in the 1950s, but whatever that I think they were playing football. I genuinely don't know what they were doing.
I mean, there's other stuff that they could have been doing given that it was the South, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt.
It was around 7 p.m., almost fully dark, when suddenly a bright red light streaked across the night sky, and it eventually crashed into a hillside on G. Bailey Fisher's farm in Braxton County. Naturally, the boys joked about it being a flying saucer or the start of an alien invasion. One of the boys even suggested that it might have been a meteor and that they should bring it to the Geological Society, like some sort of fucking intergalactic narc, because that's like...
Yeah, you keep that shit. You find a meteor, you hang on to it.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's your rock.
Nerd.
Yeah, space gave you a fucking gift and you're laughing in their face.
Exactly. Now, their curiosity piqued. The boys decided to investigate. On their way, they stopped at the May family home to let Kathleen May, Eddie and Freddie's mom, know what they had just seen and that they were about to embark on a Stand By Me style adventure to go poke dead alien bodies with some sticks.
Is there not a better movie in the world?
Yeah, there's
Stand By Me.
Way better movies.
How dare you? Stand By Me is one of the greatest films ever made.
Okay. Well,
about 4 people looking to find a dead body.
Yeah, this is basically that, but with children and with, I guess, Stand By Me's with children, but this is that with aliens. So, but Kathleen, being fucking just rad as hell, was like, "Oh fuck yeah, dude! Hold up a second, I'm coming with you. Let me get my coat, my shoes. I do got to make a phone call real quick." Now, Sarge, who do you think she called upon hearing that her sons and their friends just witnessed a fireball crash into a farm? Was it A, the police, B, a 17-year-old boy, or C, the Air Force?
17-year-old boy.
She called the 17-year-old boy. His name was Eugene Lemon. Now, to be fair, he was a local National Guardsman, but she called him to escort her and this motley crew of boys and the family dog onto someone else's property to investigate a UFO crash. Just
You know why she called the National Guardsmen? Because no one knows what they do.
true, but also, can you be 17 and a National Guardsman? Maybe in the 1950s.
Yes,
I have no idea.
Yes. The way it works is you can join the military at 17. A lot of guys back in the day would like forego graduating high school and just jump right in to join the National Guard or the military.
I thought you had to be 18 though. Or you can join, but you can't be deployed until you're 18. Like, is there like a cutoff?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, basically it's kind of like when you get your driver's license, you can get your learner's permit at like 15 and a half, but you can't get your driver's license until you're 15.
Okay.
So with the National Guard, like you go to basic training, but you can't do anything like deploy, like you said, until you're 18.
You can't legally get shot at or murder someone until you hit. That's all right. Cool. All right. I didn't know that. I asked that question to Colby when we were first on here, and he was like, it was a different time. I was like, yeah, you're probably right. I have no fucking idea. No.
Well, my great uncle lied about how old he was to get deployed to Korea and was almost immediately captured and turned into a POW.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it didn't work out well for him. Poor guy.
Was he like 16? Like what?
Yeah, basically. Like back in the day, you could just tell people you were 25 and they would just be like, all right.
There's no checks and balances. They were just like
none. There's none, honestly.
That's bananas. So she called 17-year-old Jean Lemon, the National Guardsman, to escort her and the 4 boys and the family dog out to investigate this crash. Now, as this ragtag team of segregation-era paranormal investigators approached the crash site, the air changed. A thick, acrid mist hung around them. Are you okay? Did I get you? Did you spit take? Did I get you?
You got me.
Yes. I thought it was going to be me to be the first one.
No, man, you got me.
That's one of my favorite lines I've ever written, and I've never written anything funnier after that.
Hold on, I need to get to the right water fountain before we leave.
As they approached the crash site, the air changed. A thick, acrid mist hung around them, reportedly burning their eyes and lungs. The group described it as smelling strongly of sulfur or burning metal, which I'm sure probably didn't put like their nerves at ease at all.
No.
Now the dog, proving to be like the smartest of the group, was just like, nah, dude, I'm out. And just fucking,
that's what I would have done.
Just bailed. Was like, we're not doing this today. So he ran all the way back home.
Yeah, this does not smell right.
Yeah, but the rest of them, they pressed on because fucking, as we see time and time again, there's no sense of self-preservation here. And also they're committing a crime by just trespassing onto this dude's property. But anyway, so in the distance, they spotted a pulsating red light coming from what appeared to be some sort of craft. They moved closer, though every step probably felt like just a bad decision. Probably not. Yeah. I take that back. They clearly were fine with it because they're just trespass. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it was either a craft or a moonshine still.
Well, either way, when you first come over the hill and you smell that, and
I would have thought moonshine or meth myself.
Yeah, you smell, your eyes are burning, your lungs are burning, and then you just keep going. Like, there's no way that they had any reservations about just seeing a crap.
No, thank you.
Yeah, so then one of the boys noticed 2 glowing orbs to their left. Eugene, being the only one with the flashlight, shined it in that direction. And then this is when shit got like kind of fucked. So standing near a single oak tree was a 10-foot tall creature. Its spade-shaped head gleamed in the flashlight's beam, and its bright glowing eyes seemed to pierce through them. It had long, claw-like hands and no visible legs, hovering eerily above the ground. The May brothers claimed later it didn't seem alive, more mechanical, like a Cronenberg version of like Rosie from the Jetsons. At first, the creature didn't seem to react to the group at all, but as soon as the flashlight beam hit it, shit got real fucking quick. The creature raised its clawed arms, sprayed an oily substance toward them, which is like an intergalactic bukkake. It just fucking just showered them with space jizz. I don't really know what it was. It just said it was some oily substance.
This got Japanese real fast.
Yeah, but it seems to be a theme for the last few episodes.
All right. Yeah, that's true.
It then unleashed a high-pitched hissing sound and then began gliding towards them. Terrified, Eugene dropped the flashlight and fell backwards out of the way. And that was the moment that everyone finally was like, I think it's time we skedaddle out of here. Yeah, time
to move on.
Yeah, so they sprinted back to the May home as fast as their PF flyers could carry them. Once there...
Oh, I like that. Good reference.
You like that shit? Now...
Yeah.
Once there, chaos ensued. Everyone was coughing, puking, crying, and covered in this strange alien cum.
Name of my sex tape.
The way I described it before was that, did you ever see the episode of, I'm sure you had, the Family Guy when they all drink the Ipecac syrup and they're all... I feel like that's pretty much what was happening here. This
went from Japanese to German so fast.
Oh, yeah. I like that you just relate everything happening to porn, and I kind of fuck with it.
Different kinds of porn.
Yeah. And this is why we are award-winning podcasters.
My encyclopedic knowledge of disgusting things you can find on the dark web.
You were in the military, man. I'm sure you got lonely over there. You had to find... Shit probably got stale. You're looking at the same thing. How many stepsisters caught in the dryer can you really... after
really,
you just get desensitized.
It just gets to a point where it's too much. Yeah.
This is going off the rails and I love it. Now, Kathleen, the mom, immediately called the sheriff's department to report what had happened, her voice undoubtedly shaking as she described the chaos that they had just escaped. Now, Sheriff Robert Carr and his deputy were quick to respond, arriving alongside a local reporter from the Braxton Democrat. The reporter interviewed everyone and then they went to the crash site alongside the sheriff and his deputy. But by the time they got there, the craft, the mist, the monster, they were all gone. All that remained was an imprint on the ground where the craft had been, a lingering smell, which was later described by one National Guardsman as sharp and chemical, possibly resembling mustard gas. And they also found strange skid marks leading from the oak tree to the craft's location. Fuck you, Sarge. I hate it. I can't even say skid marks without you.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You good?
Yeah, I'm a child.
Yeah. So with little to go on, it seemed as if the whole incident had vanished into thin air. And with that, the mystery deepened and the story began spreading beyond the small community. I mean, that's what happens when you send a reporter along with the shit. Well, but anyways, and by beyond, I mean like beyond. Because no good UFO story is complete without a visit from the Men in Black.
Yes. I am auditioning for Men in Black right now.
You're a shoo-in, Sarge. Now, a few days later, two men in suits, believed by some to be government agents, showed up at Kathleen May's door, claiming to be reporters from a neighboring city. They asked to see the site and investigate further. When Kathleen brought them to the farm, they found traces of the oily residue still on the ground. And then they just raw dog fuck. They just were touching it with their hands and shit.
Of course,
rubbing it on their suits.
Aliens ain't got no fingerprints.
I can't imagine that's protocol. Like they're just like, oh, what is this? Just fucking like raw hands, bare hands, just touching all that. Like, there's no way that's.
Ugh. You got the oil on. You don't know what that oil is. What are you doing?
Well, I mean. They're the Men in Black. To be fair, they probably know better than we do about what's going on.
You get one guy who's just licking it. Oh, it doesn't taste right. Salty.
Kind of smells like chlorine, bleach, a little something like that.
This alien clearly loves swimming pools.
Must have been eating pineapple. Okay.
Too much bleach in their laundry, that's for sure.
Now, back at the May house, the men asked more questions and requested a sample of the residue. I don't know why they didn't just take it from the field. They were fucking rubbing their hands in it. Anyways, Kathleen, thinking quickly, offered them the dress that she had worn that night, which was still covered in the goo. I don't know why.
She's still wearing it. She was just cooking dinner in it.
No, the men took the dress, thanked her, and then casually, as they were leaving, were just like, oh, by the way, we're not reporters. We work for the Pentagon. Don't tell anyone about this. Cool? You cool? All right, cool. See you. We'll get the dress back to you as soon as possible. She never got the dress back.
No, of course not. Yeah.
In the aftermath of the incident, the May family and the boys became the focus of local and national media attention. Reporters from across the country descended on Flatwoods, eager to hear their story. While some treated them with respect and genuine curiosity, as we've seen time and time again, others dismissed their accounts as hysteria or like an elaborate hoax. The small town of Flatwoods found itself split between believers and skeptics, with the incident becoming the hottest topic of conversation in months. Again, not much happens there, so I could see how this obviously would be that. Now,
I'd be talking about it all day, every day.
Oh, consistently. Even if I didn't know who these people were, which, I mean, you probably do because it's a tiny town, I'd be talking shit constantly.
Yeah.
Like, you fucking hear what these clowns down there are saying? Also, it's 1950. Like, it's hard to believe what was happening there. You know what I mean?
No, they're like, it was either communists or aliens, and we don't like either one. No. Nothing has changed.
No, it's pretty much, it's pretty much the same, Now, the witness accounts were investigated by notable UFO researcher Gray Barker, who we've mentioned on the show several times. He played a key role in bringing national attention to the story. Additionally, the U.S. Air Force became involved through Project Blue Book, which was actively investigating UFO sightings during the 1950s. Military investigators visited the area to examine the site and interview witnesses. Though their findings were never fully disclosed, their presence did help solidify the story's connection to UFO phenomena and place the Flatwoods Monster among the iconic Cold War era mysteries that they were all investigating at the time. The boys, particularly Ed and Fred, faced teasing and ridicule from classmates and neighbors who doubted their story. Kathleen May, however, stood firm, often retelling the events in vivid detail and defending her sons against critics. The lingering health effects from the encounter, like the coughing, the nausea, the irritation from the mysterious mist, it was a concern for a while, though they did gradually subside. Like we kind of glossed over that. Like they were all that shit. Like that was like the Ipecac thing. Like that was a consistent thing for a little while, but over time, I mean, they just kind of got over it.
It just became a funny story. Like that time I had to do the tear gas in basic training. At the moment, I thought I was going to die, but like 10 minutes after, I was like, can we go again? It's fun.
How bad does that suck? I can't imagine it's great.
It sucks because you're trapped in a room with iron doors, and the doors are locked, and the drill sergeants, who aren't wearing masks because they're barely human anyway, are making you say stuff before you can leave. But when you breathe in, your lungs immediately reject everything that happened and spit it back out.
Okay.
So you really can't breathe.
Yeah.
And your eyes start watering. And it almost feels like on the more sensitive skin on your body, like the back of your neck and like the inside of your forearm, it feels like a sunburn. And then you run outside into the fresh air and you've just, all of your mucous membranes open at once and everything kind of spills out of you. And you literally have to flap your arms to get it out of your lungs.
Really?
Yeah, like when you open your arms up, like your lungs kind of expand, and then it's like a bellows. You're just kind of like trying to crank it out of you. But what's funny is when you're done, it's actually because it's not the police weren't shooting it at me while I was protesting. I was in basic training, and everyone else was doing it too, so it became fun. And then I went through again.
I bet you could smell so good after.
It clears everything out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Your sinuses are crystal clear.
Fucking neti pot, dude. Just tear gas me, bro.
Tear gas. I don't even, so good.
Fuck the Geneva Convention. Put that shit right in my face.
And the worst part is, like, it was only maybe 10% of what like is actually in a tear gas grenade. Oh. So it really wasn't that bad, but I was also in an enclosed room. So I think that's why. That's because if they opened a whole one, we'd just die. Okay. Military's fun, kids. You should join.
So like I said, it was a concern for a bit. It subsided, but they even found there was even reports of unusual metal fragments found at the site, though they were never conclusively analyzed. Now, skeptics proposed various mundane explanations for the sighting. The quote-unquote monster was suggested to be nothing more than a barn owl perched on a tree branch, and the glowing eyes were attributed to the reflective quality of its eye shine. The red light in the sky was believed to be a meteor, and the mist could have been natural gas or another environmental anomaly, which, all right, so it's all this. I'm not saying they're right, Okay, but what I'm saying is that this is a town near a mining play. You know what I mean? Like gases escaping from the ground could be. I don't know if Flatwoods specifically had mines in it. Probably should have looked that up.
Probably. I mean, West Virginia is full of mines.
All I'm saying is that this is a bullshit explanation, but I could see where they might come to that conclusion that it might be an environmental anomaly because of mines.
Yeah.
Anyways, despite these theories, the uniformity of the witnesses' descriptions gave pause to skeptics and believers alike. Now, additional sightings around the same time added even more fuel to the fire, expanding the legend of the Flatwoods Monster. Mrs. Audra Harper reported seeing a similar creature near the town of Heaters, about 5 miles north of Flatwoods. And this was this sighting happened, I think, like it's the same day, but like earlier in the day or something like that. Now, while walking through the woods, she noticed a ball of fire glowing on a nearby hill, which disappeared and revealed a tall man-shaped figure. Terrified, Harper and her friend fled the area. Another sighting took place the night after the Flatwoods incident, this time near Strange Creek, where George and Edith Snatowski, driving with their infant son, experienced a sulfuric stench and saw a bright light. Then a reptilian 10-foot creature appeared, scraping its claws across the car hood while vanishing into the woods. Now, the thing about this one is that what they described was basically the Flatwoods Monster, but without like the head on it. Does that make sense? Like almost like the spade shaped thing around, like on the Flatwoods Monster, and like they said the eyes looked like portholes, like it was almost like a mask almost.
Oh, okay.
So what they're describing is pretty much the Flatwoods Monster, but without its helmet on, maybe. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
Yeah. George Snatowski, he told this story to a magazine called Male Magazine, which sounds like a porn mag, but I looked it up, and it's like one of those like men's adventure pulp magazines that were big in the time. You know,
got it.
It's like one of those like adventure type things. I looked it up. The covers were fucking rad.
Was it like a guy in a trench coat with a revolver, like pointing it while holding like a scantily clad woman?
No, it kind of looks like it looks like the artwork from like, you ever seen like the Robinson Crusoe, like just like a guy like in a loincloth, like fighting off. Yeah. It's like that type
fighting off a bear or something.
Yeah, it's like that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool.
Got it.
But yeah, so their story added another chapter to the eerie mystery of Braxton County. In the years following the Flatwoods incident, the region experienced a surge in UFO sightings and interest from enthusiasts. Reporters, investigators, and UFO enthusiasts flocked to Braxton County, keeping the story alive and fueling new discussions. Now, while no additional encounters with the Flatwoods Monster were officially reported, the area's mysterious reputation grew, placing it at the heart of unexplained phenomena discussions. Now, despite skepticism and controversy, the event became a cornerstone of American cryptid lore, captivating believers and sparking curiosity worldwide. The story of the Flatwoods Monster spread like wildfire, putting the tiny town of Flatwoods on the map. Tourists began flocking to the area, and the creature, nicknamed Braxy by the locals, became a regional icon. The town celebrates the legend with an annual festival, complete with themed parades and alien-inspired food trucks. Visitors could stop by the Flatwoods Monster Museum to see artifacts, artwork, and memorabilia dedicated to the sightings.
I got to go to this town.
Yeah, it seems pretty rad. Now, Braxy's influence extends far beyond Flatwoods. Its haunting, otherworldly design has inspired filmmakers, comic book creators, and game designers worldwide. Movies have reimagined Braxy as a terrifying alien invader, while video games like The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask and Fallout 76 immortalized it as a cryptid stalking the Appalachian wilderness. Even internationally, the Flatwoods Monster has become a symbol of the unexplained. It's in that new anime on, I think, Netflix or Hulu called like Dun 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 or some shit like that. It's reimagined as like a sumo wrestler. It's pretty cool. And it's also it's cited. It's so entrenched in like the UFO lore that like it comes up when people are mentioning like Roswell or Area 51, shit like that. It's also been connected to the Hopkinsville goblins. Like that happened around the same time.
Really?
Yeah. So it's kind of cool. This one little one-off thing just became like a whole fucking it inspired so many people. Now, today, like I said, you can find museums, you can find themed ice cream shops, and even giant chairs in its honor. Flatwoods has a bunch of big old fucking like Adirondack chairs that are shaped.
But if it floats, it doesn't need to sit down.
It's not for it. It's just for you. It just looks like the Flatwoods Monster.
Oh, okay. I got confused. I was like, why would the
like it was an offering? Like, please come back. We have chairs now. Please. We've conveniently placed chairs for your seating pleasure, Flatwoods Monster. Yeah. But like I said, it's been reinterpreted. What the fuck? Reinterpreted. Thank you.
You're welcome.
In so many different
ways. That's why
ways.
I'm wearing the top hat.
Now, though the May brothers have said they wish they could forget the whole incident, the legend of the Flatwoods Monster lives on. And how could it not? It's like not every day that you get chased by a spade-headed, jizzing alien robot. So I understand why they'd want to forget. But Sarge, that is the story of the Flatwoods Monster. How are you feeling about it?
I want a Flatwoods Monster t-shirt. If any of our fans live in West Virginia, just let me know how much.
I think we could make that work. I think we could figure something out.
That would make me so happy. It sounds hilariously awesome. And while you were talking, you would mention that somebody thought it might be a barn owl.
Yeah.
And that reminded me of something I was looking up when I had that weird cryptid-like noise in my backyard. I was looking up different kinds of owls, and there's actually a belief amongst folklorists that barn owls were kind of the nexus for a lot of ghost stories of colonists back in the day, because they do look like fucking aliens. They look terrifying.
Well, that's also the thing is like the barn owl. They bring it up on like the Greys. Like
yep.
You ever see what was that Mila Jovovich movie? The Fourth Kind.
Fifth Element?
No, The Fourth Kind.
No, Fourth Kind.
Have you not seen it?
I don't remember that one. No,
dude, that was like my Blair Witch. It was what. All
right.
The Blair Witch was my Blair Witch, but it was like I knew the Blair Witch was a movie and not really found footage. But the way they marketed The Fourth Kind is that it's based off true events. And it's like a retelling with like footage.
Oh yes, I remember this. I don't remember the story, but I remember the marketing campaign.
Yeah. I mean, none of it was real, but fuck, dude, that movie fucked me up. I hate owls now because of it. But whenever people go into like the regressive like hypnosis thing, they would say they saw an owl in their window. But if you look at an owl, it looks like a gray alien. So that's what they.
Yeah.
So I mean, that makes sense to me that ghosts or aliens could be
just people holding a torch with flames and the flames and shadows and shit bouncing around the forest, and then you see a barn owl. I mean, I would shit myself immediately. Yeah. Those things are terrifying to look at.
Not great. It's all bad.
No.
All right. So how do you feel with the Flatwoods Monster? How are we doing?
I love it. This is right up there with the Sacramento pants for me.
Yeah, I love the Flatwoods Monster.
Yeah, it just makes me happy.
You got a fucking nice green metallic dress on, fucking thick as fuck.
She knows how to party.
Oh yeah,
she knows how to party. She knows what she's doing. All those little country boys. She's just looking for a boyfriend.
That's got to be it. Yeah. So this is what I decided to do for our 2-year anniversary. I wanted to see if I could make the script better, make the episode not better but different. I think you succeeded. I think we did it. It's also a story you never heard, and maybe listeners of the show that are new didn't hear the original one, and maybe they'll hear this and they'll want to compare and contrast to see how much I fucked up and how much I kept the same. So it's fine. But yeah. All right, Sarge. That's it. Happy 2-year anniversary.
Awesome. Happy 2-year anniversry. And happy anniversary to all the fans who've been listening for that long.
Yeah, thank you guys. This is really all because of you. in a way, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to us.
Yeah, it's been 2 years. God damn, dude, what am I doing in my life?
Yeah. I don't know, but I love it.
It's great. All right, Sarge, with that out of the way, is there anything you want to plug to the audience?
I want to thank Narragansett Beer for being a part of the family. Cam from Narragansett, I love you. Thank you. Also, a good friend of mine, Scott, reached out. He's listening to the show. Scott, appreciate you listening, buddy. I won't give out his last name in case he's trying to remain under the radar. Thank you to my dog for perpetually finding squeak toys right when I'm talking. Buy the coloring book, sajasupernormal.com. It's $9.99, but there's a lot of pages and there's a lot of shit for you to do. And, you know, if you're feeling a little anxiety about the way the world's going right now, this comic book will help a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. What else?
I don't know. But real quick, this isn't really the thing of the segment, but I got a nice message from another podcast called Good Beer, Bad Movie Night. And so I think this calls for maybe, fuck it, let's do it.
Wholesome content.
I love it.
They just sent a nice message. I don't think they've gotten to where you come on the show yet, maybe, but they just say, they started from the beginning. Crazy choice. You got 2 years of shit to go through, but they just said you and your guests, plural. So I'm assuming they haven't gotten to where you're a consistent one, but it says you and your guests.
I hope I don't let them down.
You and your guests are a hoot. I'm still catching up and listening to episode 51 at the moment. One day I'll hear you in real time. Well, hopefully you catch up eventually. They're half-hour episodes. I feel like it's easy to catch up.
Yeah, you can do it eventually.
Yeah, but yeah, Good Beer, Bad Movie Night. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. Again, go listen to my episodes, plural, with the Spooky Shed. I'll put a link to where you can find those episodes in the episode descriptions. And we got a Patreon. We got 2 tiers. If you just want to fucking vibe, hang out, you don't really care about bells and whistles, just want to support us, we got a tier that's $3 a month. If you want unedited video episodes, which started last week with Jeremy,
that's gonna be like $4 a month. That's a good deal.
Yeah, that's gonna be so. That's the second tier, which is $7 a month. Plus, we'll throw in some extra bonus content whenever me and Sarge or one of us decides to just do it randomly. We'll throw that up there. But yeah, $3, $7 a month. It's whatever you want to do. I don't really care. But if you want to support and if you don't want to pay anything to support the show, you can also just leave us a rating and review on either Spotify, Apple, wherever you can. Just it's awesome. And I think that's it for me. Sarge, do you want to say goodbye and I love you to the audience?
Goodbye, and I love you.